Thank you for tuning in. If this is your first time joining us, welcome. We hope your experience is fruitful. Please feel free to visit our website to find out how you can join our growing family. While we are loading your experience, please do us a quick favor and hit that like button from whichever platform you're watching or listening on. Also, share so others may enjoy as well. And we hope you would consider hitting that subscribe or follow button so you can check out more of our amazing content. All right, let's start the show.
How are you all doing tonight? Howdy be, howdy be, howdy be. Manal, how have you been this week? Like I ain't talked to you. How have you been?
You know what? I'm good. I'm good today. It's beautiful when everything comes together.
Yeah.
There's some things that I have been waiting for many years, and they are finally coming into fruition. And so I'm grateful that I didn't quit. I didn't give up. I didn't turn into a major asshole. So doors are still open that needed to be open.
Amen. And amen.
Yeah. How about you?
And a woman too. I've been doing really, really good. As of late, doors, like you say, have been opening. Some doors have been shutting. But I have learned to be at peace. Whenever the Lord says peace, glory. But all of that being said, things have just been great. And I just can't wait to get into the things on tonight. We'd like to welcome everybody here to the WaltB Connection. This is the place where we connect over everything, all things love, life, and relationship. Of course, connecting to yourself will help you connect with everyone else. This is the WaltB Connection. Hey. All right. So to get things started on tonight, Manon, we've had a very, very interesting week. And we're just going to begin with speaking about class versus ass. Now, you all know this is our opening segment. This is where we discuss two aspects of our society. One, where someone is showing class. They are letting their blackness show. They are allowing their blackness to shine through. And the other is ass. These are people that tend to pull us back a few steps. They're in the way of progress.
They make us scratch our heads.
Yeah, they kind of make us scratch our head and say, why? Why? Who brought them? Who invited them to the cookout?
Oh, we love them anyhow, right?
Right. Now, our first person who is the class of this week is world champion Sha'CarriRichardson. I love this young lady. I think I mispronounced her name. But I love this young lady. Miss Richardson is a class act.
Yeah.
Okay. So the thing I love about her is she is unapologetically black. Can I give her a hand for that? She is unapologetically black.
You see
the nails.
She said, I know where I'm from.
Right. She's unapologetically African American. That's right. Sha'CarriRichardson. I'm sorry. Sometimes I call her Sha'Carri. My bad. But Sha'CarriRichardson Richardson. Now, this young lady is unapologetically African American. She talks her shit. I like it. She stands on it. And she has done a lot of growing in before our eyes. And see, what I like about her, this is why she's the class of the week, is she endured a lot of ridicule here in the past because of the way she showed up during the first portion of her professional career. You know, she had the marijuana scandal, and then she was going through different things in terms of the press. You know, she wouldn't respond in the way that we thought she should respond. But the thing I like about her is she kept on pressing. And so for that, this is why she gets the class of the week. Now, the amazing thing about this is it didn't stop with the ridicule. She actually showed up to the race that they just had, the World Championships, and she became a golden girl. She broke a world record with a 10.6 second 100-meter race. She definitely became one of the fastest women in the world. She was already number 6, but in this area, she's now number 1. She broke the world record. Can we hear it again for Sha'Carri?
But you know what, though? What I love about her is she understands the assignment as a Black woman.
Absolutely.
And that's why, for me, she's the class this week, because she is showing love and unity, and she has such grace. And we know she is one of ours. You know, of course, like you said, she's gonna talk her shit. She's
undoubtedly
gonna walk like a peacock, and because she knows she bad. But what I appreciate about her is that she is for other Black women, and that has been very much so a big part of her platform coming back. I think she was that way before, but definitely coming back. I think with her experience with everyone kind of turning their backs on her after she had that weed incident. And again, she was trying to cope with the loss of her mother.
Right,
so
right. She was going.
We know that everyone has different types of coping skills, y'all. It don't matter what profession you are in. It doesn't matter what your responsibilities are when you wake up. Some people cope the way they cope. And so her coming back after that experience, I think, has made her even more of a sister in this sisterhood, and it's beautiful to watch.
Right. I like what Cupcakes says. She said she was accountable, but she didn't let her setback prevent her comeback. Now, that's a word, isn't it? That is definitely a word. I love it. I love it. I love it. So, yeah, she's definitely the class of the week. Now we're moving to the ass of the week. There's always one. There's always one. This is one of them Gibson boys. Derek Gibson, former mayoral candidate for New York, I think it is. This young man is on being interviewed, and he says he's an N-word for Trump. Now, I was convicted this week because, Manal, I used to use that N-word like nobody's business. Child, I would let it flow, let it flow, let it flow, I would just let it flow out of my mouth. But I was convicted. I was watching Uncle Kyrie's channel, and, you know, I was a little convicted. So I'm going to try. I said, I'm going to try, damn it, not to use that word. But he says he's an N-word.
Good. I think when you hear him say it, you understand why you shouldn't say it.
Yes, absolutely. He says he's an N-word for Trump. Can you play the clip real quick so we can get a full understanding of the ignorance?
Support President Trump. You want to know why I'm here to support President Trump? Because they done did black men like this for decades. Make up charges and put them, so I know Trump is innocent. I support Trump against this corrupt, two-tiered justice system. That's why I'm here to show my support as a black man for Trump. And I'm wearing my shirt, Niggas for Trump 2024, and I mean that.
What do you think about the indictments?
Oh, it's a bunch of bullshit. It's going around the country. You know, Fannie Willis, she went to school with my sister. She's full of shit. She was full of shit then. So she's a puppet for the white liberal that is controlling everything. She's in front, but the white liberal back there pulling those strings, telling her what to do. That's what I think about her, making a fool of herself.
Do you think it's going to help his election?
Of course it is. It's going to elevate him all the way. I think we should make Trump king. That's how I feel. We should make him king.
Wouldn't that be like kind of like communistic?
No, that's nowhere near communist. Now, we're just going to make him king, but we still got our freedoms and rights and everything. He for that. Yeah, Trump for king 2024.
That's actually my URL. I own that URL.
You own that URL?
I can't get your name.
Really? Oh, my name is Niggas for Trump 2024.
I can't
Derek
write that.
Gibson,
That's my nigga.
former candidate. I'm a former candidate for New York State Governor. Derek Gibson, look me up. Nigga, I'm there. I live up to it too, boy. I can scrap too, but I can get down, boy. Not better, I can't. I got a proven track record. You want to try me out? Try to take this shirt off. I'll give you some.
Need everybody off the roadway.
Sir,
I need everybody
take care of yourself, bro.
Yeah, so this
It
was
just hurt.
absolutely ridiculous. It was ridiculous. He is definitely the ass of the week. Unapologetically, no competition in my book. Yeah, girl. Yeah, girl. Yes, really. No competition. He is the ass of the week. I did absolutely hear the gentleman off camera who is believed to be a white
Right.
man say, that's my N-word.
Yeah.
And see, for me, that would have been the end of the interview right there. I'm just going to leave that at that. That would have been the end of the interview. Period, point to the blank. So remember we were talking a while ago
It moved something, Kwame.
about remember we were talking a while ago about when you support a candidate, you have to be careful not to lose your humanity and your common sense behind these people. Yes, they're charismatic. Yes, they have ideas that you may agree with or a certain thing, but you cannot embody someone else so much that you're willing to forsake the core of who you are. I believe this gentleman has forsaken the core of who he is.
Well, I think there's been so many caricatures. I mean, there you have what is it Uncle Ruckus from Boondock?
Mm-hmm.
That's who he sounds a lot like. And then I think of also the white Klansman. I mean, the Black Klansman. My bad.
Mm-hmm.
Now, granted, he didn't realize he was black, but the reality is that we have people like this all throughout history that will much rather eat the food off of master's table than actually say, no, thank you. I'm going to go get my own and fuck you because you don't really love me that much. And so, like, it's really, again, to see how many of the Black people in this world have so many different perspectives. You would think that we would all have the same perspective because of our history, but the reality is we all don't have the same perspective. And so when we talk about mobilizing and working as one and being unified, he is an example as to why we definitely are not able to move forward as an entire diaspora. Some people are going to have to go sit with master and then get the scraps off his table while we all building our own kingdom.
Oh, girl, you just said that is a whole word. And absolutely, Miss Rogers, he is a nut. That's why he's the butt of the week. That's my mama. I can't say the other three letter words. Miss Rogers, he is the butt of the week. He's that 3-letter word that you see on the screen of the week. All right. All right. So, moving right along, I don't want to labor here too long.
He got too much airtime.
Moving right along, we're just going to take a peek into pop culture. We're going to take just a quick peek. Oh, I like that. We're peeking through the shades, right? We're not going to step out into it. We ain't going to dive into it, but we're just going to take a peek real quick. All right. So first we have Funky Dineva, who is under fire for his words against Haley Bailey. Look at me not pronouncing names well tonight. Haley Bailey. So there's been a lot of speculation as to whether she's pregnant or not, right? And a lot of people are saying she's pregnant. Others are saying she's not pregnant. Wow, so it becomes a great debate. And, fans sometimes feel entitled to celebrities' business, especially after I've invested and I bought your stuff and I listen to your music and shit. I feel like you owe me some of your personal life. Well, that's how some people feel, not me personally.
Absolutely.
I just want you to continue producing good shit. And that's all you owe me. When I paid, that's what I paid for. But the question came up on this show. I did not include the link because every video I know that included the link got snatched down, and we're not about that here at the WaltB Connection. We like, you have it? Oh, did you include the link? Every video I saw that included the link, it was snatched down. So I didn't want to include it because we want to talk about what's important here.
Absolutely.
When they tossed the question to him, he began to degrade this young lady in such a nasty, disgusting way. Now, I want everybody to know I am a fan of Funky Dineva. I like Funky Dineva. But again, I can support somebody and call them out on their shit, okay? He was absolutely nasty in what he said about her. He said she wasn't that pretty without makeup, which I think is a lie. I think she's gorgeous. Basically said she wasn't that talented, which I think is a lie. We got to realize song selection, and there are a lot of people behind her making her probably do things that she doesn't necessarily want to do, but she's talented, uber talented. And I mean, he just had a whole bunch of nasty things to say about this young lady. And so we asked the question tonight, is this the new norm? This is what we're addressing tonight throughout this is the theme of the show. Is this the new norm? Are we living in a society where we as Black men, are not held accountable for how we respect and treat our Black women, even when we disagree, right? Even if I disagree, I feel like there's still a certain level of respect I owe my Black woman.
See, but here's my thing. In my experience, my little years on life, I feel as though the problem has been that Black women are not protected by Black men. I think that this is just another experience and example of Black men not protecting Black women. And it is it is none of your business what is going on with that woman's body. It's none of your business. It is also none of your business when and if she is pregnant, how and when she tells the rest of the world.
Absolutely.
Let her deal with that.
Absolutely.
And then to go beyond that, to now call her appearance, her talent, her skills, her gifts, all of that into question. Sir, you're not in her seat. And so at the end of the day, we have to get into the habit of, really supporting one another and getting behind one another and protecting one another, because it's going to be your turn at some point.
Now,
and so,
can I interject right there, because you're definitely speaking, and so those of you that are having these conversations, you see how she's staying on topic. She didn't turn and start saying, "How are you gonna call her ugly? Well, you ugly." She's addressing the issue. And a lot of times when we address issues like this, we are so busy in the pettiness of it all, we don't actually address the meat of it. But continue, please.
No, that's absolutely it. And so going into the idea of being a personality, like your responsibility when you put yourself on a media platform is it should not be, I'll say should not be, to tear other people down. Yes, there is a way to critique people. There's a way to critique the Black community. There's a way to critique your family.
Absolutely.
But there's a huge difference between a critique and a rant and a rave and a tear down.
Absolutely.
And what he did was he tore down this Black woman. Now, he tried. I say he tried, but she's too big for you, sir. And so,
can you say that one more time?
She's too big for you, sir.
Yeah, God.
And so I think this is a great reminder as to why we need to be very responsible with our approach to one another. Again, Black man protecting Black women protecting Black men, but as a unit, like let's create a new norm now where we
Yes.
actually do look out for each other,
Right.
and we're not just trying to get likes and clicks and
Right.
get money in our bank accounts, but we can do those things now on the other side, showing love, supporting each
Absolutely.
other, and helping to undergird some of these life choices that we fall into,
Absolutely.
because life happens to everybody.
Now, I was told we can play. I just want to play you all a clip of this so you can see how nasty this was. Go ahead, Bishop Kwame.
You know,
Don't play with you, Q.
this story, before I was indifferent about Chloe Bailey, and I know this story is about Haley, I can officially say I don't like her. Chloe Bailey is so goddamn lame to me. First of all, girl, you were Miss Preppy Ashley from the suburbs. Then you came out, you was being all promiscuous and shit. And then now you trying to be a gangster. None of it is fucking believable, girl. None of it is believable. And I'm probably gonna catch a lot of backlash for this. And without that makeup, she ain't cute. She should have never showed up on that camera with that fat ass face without no makeup. She ain't cute. You're not believable. You're so goddamn inauthentic. That's why your shit ain't selling. All right. That's number one. Number two, I don't like people playing in our face, right? The girl is clearly pregnant. She's pregnant. All right. I analyzed that video. It's
Too much. And then it plays into the narrative that black gay men hate black women and black women hate black gay men. It just plays into such a divisive narrative. Now, what I'm not willing to do is throw my brother away. Okay?
Absolutely.
I'm not willing to throw him away. I still am a supporter. But again, I'm the type of supporter that can call you on your shit. That was some bullshit, Funky Doneva. And we need you to get that together. He did offer a half-ass apology. But again, for me, in these days, it's not about an apology. It's about a change of action. Of course, we want you to acknowledge and accept what you did, but we also need you to do different moving forward. Speaking of moving forward, our next story, Tay Diggs might be moving forward from his relationship. Tay Diggs, who I think he is definitely an example of black excellence in Hollywood.
Definitely.
There's not a lot of scandal about Tay Diggs. There may be a little scutterbutt here and a little scutterbutt there, but it's nothing like ridiculous about Tay Diggs. And so for him, I'm going to give him a hand. Clap, 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 clap. But he is with a girl. Every time somebody put that, I just feel like I gotta respond. Girl. He is currently dating or was dating April Jones, who is the ex of Amorion from B2K. Okay. Well, she went live with her son, and her son decided to fill us in on the status of possibly the status of their relationship and a few other things. Can you go ahead and play that for us, State Mother?
You vaping, about you throwing panties out the camera, about you drinking, about Tay smoking weed.
He don't smoke weed.
He has.
Did he ever smoke in front of you? Exactly.
But I smelled it.
He does edibles, baby.
Edibles.
Stop saying that on live. You don't smoke weed.
I'm telling y'all the truth.
No, you're not. That's not the
Edible
truth.
weed. So
Tay don't smoke weed. He doesn't put weed to his mouth and smoke it. That's not what Tay does. He will do a weed edible. There's a difference. Everybody's saying, where is Tay?
he ain't here.
Where is he?
He ain't here.
He working.
He ain't working. He ain't here.
He's working.
He's not working. He ain't here. We ain't know specifically if he's working or not. Did he text you?
Yes.
No. Show me the text.
Oh my
Show
God.
me the text.
He just sent me a video yesterday, baby. Me and Tay talk all the time.
It's only for y'all. She's lying. Lying.
Megan, do you want me to show you the text?
Show me.
Hold on, guys. Hold on.
It's just painful.
Time.
That was yesterday, not today.
We don't.
I thought you were talking about you talk to him every day.
No, you don't always have to.
Yeah. So he kind of let us in on a few things. Now, I want to kind of, at the beginning of the video, it started out him talking about, I'm talking about you throwing panties at the camera, you doing this, and then he said Tay smoking weed, and then the only thing she said didn't happen was Tay smoking weed. Hey, Nikita, how you doing, boy?
Hey.
Only thing she corrected was, Tay don't be smoking weed. So she be hey 20. So what I'm getting from this is she do be throwing panties at the camera, and she do be doing the other stuff, but Tay don't smoke weed. He eats edibles. And that was
Here's my problem.
thing to correct there.
Here's my problem.
Okay.
As soon as the little boy said, and you throwing panties, like cut the camera, because clearly he's getting ready to be out of pocket, and you were on live with a kid who don't have self-control because you don't tell him where the pocket is, mother. And so we're talking about Tay Diggs as a person. We don't know a whole lot about his life, and he likes it that way. He has built himself up in such a way where we have a lot of respect for him as a person. Now he's been married, divorced, he's done a lot of things, but at the end of the day, there are not too many things that we could say about him that is negative. Now, I don't know the man personally, but I appreciate the fact that he's built a wall of protection around himself. And now what has happened is he's connected himself with this young individual who is interested in the way that the world is moving now, which is putting all their business out on social media.
All of it, child.
And he has now gotten caught up in that wave, unfortunately. You are who you date, correct? And so, unfortunately, he's in this space. But as a mother, including your child, especially your young child who doesn't have self-control in your relationship, I feel is irresponsible. Just for you as a woman, because your child is not your man. Your child is not your bestie friend. So there are things about your life and your relationship that he should not even be privy to. Now, before we even get to social media. So now we include social media.
That boy know weed. Uncle Kyrie got it there. He said that boy know weed. His daddy smokes weed. Now I got to give him that now. We all know a little marijuana.
But it's just like you don't include the kid in your relationship, especially not on live on social media. That's a no. And then the fact that she was getting ready to, do you want to see the text message? Nah, little boy, you better go make your bed and clean your room and go find a rake for this yard. I don't even care if there's a leaf out there or not. Go rake the yard. She needed to give him something to do instead of being her adult relationship.
Instead of doing her on camera, right? So, so my thought is along the same line. I just think, so my mom used to always say, I'm not your friend, but I'm your best friend. Now, when I was a kid, I would always think, like, that don't make no sense. But as an adult, I understand what she meant. I can't be up in grown folk business, but she got my back if something go down, right?
Absolutely.
So, I get that. And I think so there is a lot of things that need to be corrected that the former generation did. And we're working through a lot of that trauma and we're coming, but everything that they did wasn't wrong. And I think sometimes there needs to be a clear boundary set. This is mommy and daddy's business, or this is mommy and Tay, Tay's business. This is not your business. And then also, now I do know what happens at the house stays in the house. I know that caused a lot of trauma and abuse to go unspoken, but there needs to also be tell some, keep some. Especially now, we're not talking about with a therapist. I'm talking about in public, on camera, in front of everybody. Sometimes it just needs to be a tell some, keep some. And then because once you open that door and you put that out there, you've now welcomed all of us. into your business. Now, we're getting ready to move to the next story because we have to do a commercial break, y'all. We got to pay these bills and let y'all know what it is. The next story is really quick, and it is Living Single is celebrating 30 years. 30 years ago, they premiered, and they've given us 30 years of memory. My hat is off to each of them. Trailblazers. You have anything to add on this, Manal?
I think just keeping in with the theme of the new norm, like we are seeing more shows now that are giving us these living single vibes. Harlem is one of them. First Wives Club, they remade that with a cast of Black women, and so we are living single gave us then everything that we needed to really look at ourselves as Black people and appreciate ourselves, and even learning how to navigate life and business and relationship. And they did something that was very monumental. And now we are seeing shows coming out that can speak to us in this current generation. And so we are forever grateful for Living Single. Still watch them reruns, and Khadijah and Kyle can always get it.
Absolutely, Kyle and Overton can get it. But we want to go to a quick commercial break. When we come back, we're going to be talking about, is it fake to be a king in the streets and a freak in the sheets? Is that being fake, or should we just be who we are 100% of the time? Let's go to this commercial break, and when we come back, we're going to continue to talk about the things of the things. We'll take a break.
This episode is sponsored in part by Bullet and Flight Radio. Get ready to uplift your spirit with Bullet and Flight Radio, the world's leading progressive Christian radio station. Experience the vibrant fusion of gospel house music and a rich medley of inspiration from all musical genres that'll make your heart soar. Join their extraordinary lineup of today's trailblazers, visionaries, and voices that matter, all sharing their stories and wisdom. Stay plugged in around the clock as they broadcast unmissable content 24/7. Your go-to station for all things inspiring. Become a pilot today by visiting bulletandflightradio.com. Bullet and Flight Radio. Your story, our station. Step away from the chaos and noise of your daily life. Experience moments for yourself that are calm, serene, and full of peace. A necessary respite to foster growth within you, because self-care should be luxurious. Luxe Noir.
Luxe Noir. Make sure you go get you some candles. Go get you some candles and support Black-owned businesses. Absolutely.
Yes.
So, talking about the new norm, is this the new norm? Now, I want to be, we're getting ready to talk about some things, and I want to be very clear. Freaky songs have always existed, right?
Absolutely.
Freaky songs have always existed, and I'm not going to sit up here and act like Little Kim did not minister to my whole existence in high school. I'm not going to sit up here because she prophesied. She told me sometimes you got to put your thing down, you got to flip it, and you have to reverse it.
That's Missy.
I did say, ooh. But Little Kim told me that when I call you over, I got to shave my chocha. Yes.
That's Missy.
Oh, my God. I don't know no Little Kim lyrics. Oh, yes, I do. Blow you up to your man like an army. Wait. I love Little Kim, though. I promise I do.
I don't believe you. I don't believe you at all. I'm going to tell you. I'm going to be for real. First of all, I don't think I've ever listened to a Lil' Kim song. So let me start there. Well, one, you already know, Walter, we grew up and we weren't allowed to listen to worldly, secular music. So it wasn't
Right,
even
absolutely.
it wasn't in my Rolodex. And
Right.
my one experience of even getting to know who Lil Kim was, I went to my cousin's one time, and he had that classic album cover picture of her when she's squatting with her legs open.
Mm-hmm.
He had the poster of that on his wall, and I was like, "Who is that?" Lil Kim. That's how I learned who she was, and I saw her in some movies and things like that. But I still, at this stage of my life, have never gone back and listened to a Lil Kim song. I haven't.
I like Little Kim, but I guess she wasn't the prophetess of my life. I guess Missy was the prophetess of my life.
Missy is she bad.
Missy spoke to my whole existence. By the way, for more information about Pyro Media Network, please visit pyromedianetwork.com, and don't forget to check out our sponsors. Go get them candles, and go check out Bullet and Flight Radio as well. But Missy really spoke to my whole existence. Now I can talk like I got some sense. She told me, this is what she said to me. She said, sometimes you meet somebody and you have to ask them, is it worth it? Let me work it. Let me put my thing down, flip it, and then reverse it. And then she said it was so good that it'll cause you to speak in tongues. And see, everybody didn't get that revelation. They didn't get that revelation. They was over here trying to figure out what she said. You can't figure out what she said because she said it was so good that she began to speak in another tongue. So we're not going to act like freaky music hasn't always existed, but they always had a way of being euphemistic and kind of, masking it and putting it in there. Whereas in current culture, they are not masking anything.
Well,
they are saying,
I think it was also what was played.
There we go. What was popular?
There was a radio version,
right,
and then there was an album version, right? There are many times when you heard it on the radio and you were like, okay, and you got the CD, you got that unedited, and you were like, what? That's what she was saying.
Yeah.
And so there was clearly a line between this is what we play with the family, and this is what you listen to in private. Know, and now that ain't what's happening. We just get the raw uncut, no matter what.
Not. But there are two individuals that I have become aware of that are really blazing the charts, and that's Sukihana and
you mean they opening up their vaginas?
They are definitely open. But they're blazing the charts, and that is Sukihana, Suki with the good coochie. The things are the things. It's being a king in the street and a freak in the street. I'm sorry. Oh, I read that all kind of wrong. Is being a king in the street and a freak in the sheet being fake. So we have Sukihana and Sexy Red. These are two female rappers that are blazing the charts right now. They're literally two of the hottest female rappers out right now, arguably. So you got your Cardi B and you got your Nicki Minaj and your Megan Thee Stallion. Right now they ain't got nothing new out that's hot. These two women seem like they got a new whole anthem out every 2 weeks. And they're saying some of the things that, one of the lines is, and I want to put this disclaimer, this is kind of graphic. My cum is clear, your cum is green. These are the lines that they're saying. Sexy Red.
My coochie pink, my booty hole brown.
Well, hold on. I kind of like that one. I kind of like that one. Pound Town, just left Pound Town. My coochie pink, my booty hole brown. I like that one. I
just need you to know that my girlfriend and my son are in the other room listening, and they are cracking the whole hell up right now at the gospel version of this song.
Where the niggas is looking for the hoes, quit playing and suck a bitch toes. So I like. I absolutely like. I go back and forth. I do, but. Some stuff, like you say, don't need to be played in public. And then Sukihana, oh my God, some of the stuff she be talking, I'm like, whoa! Did she really just say this on a record? And this is stuff I'm hearing on Facebook. I'm hearing this stuff in ads. I'm hearing this stuff from kids. Now Sukihana has a song called Grinch. I absolutely love that song. But I would never, I have a 14-year-old daughter. I would never play Sukihana or Big Red with my daughter, ever. My daughter would have to be in her 30s.
I'm still on the fence, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm on the fence. And here's my challenge. One, I don't do respectability politics, right? Men have been saying all kind of things over the mic for so long, right? And so I feel like on the one hand, you have the idea of liberation for women, right? And then claiming their sexuality and being as open and honest and vulgar and provocative as men have been and have had the freedom to be, right? So on that side of life, I'm like, all right, cool, say the things.
Say it.
But then on the other hand, I'm a woman that works with girls.
Okay, now we're getting to the meat of it.
And I am a woman who is raising a son. And so when I think about those boundaries of what they learn and when they learn, those things come up because I feel like it is our responsibility to keep kids, have open conversation, of course, be honest and direct. But when you are allowing certain things into their ear gates and you are co-signing on certain choices before they're able to make responsible choices, right? You can make a choice and then there's a responsible choice.
Right.
That's when I have to say, you know what? We need to keep this in the uncensored album section of life and not over the airways and in commercials and on social media. Now, my other challenge is your 14-year-old is probably going to hear it anyway.
Right.
And so with the way that music is now, our kids is going to learn this stuff before we do.
Absolutely.
Because I know I have been rolling many times and my son is in the back seat and I'm like, wait a minute. How you know all them lines, But it was the same way with me, with me and my parents.
Absolutely.
Even though we weren't allowed to listen to certain music, we still was able to go to school and listen to music. We still were able to, change the channel when they weren't in the room or at home. And we had to sit there and watch the BET Awards and act like we ain't know nothing, but we knew all the music, so I can understand the curiosity of a kid. So I think it is important for you to be that kind of parent that says, we're going to listen to this Grinch song real quick. And we're going to have to talk about some things.
Right.
You're going to have to open up your world and be that kind of parent now.
So I like that you said that because the last time I spoke with my daughter, she brought up a rapper and I wouldn't listen to the song. I was like, whoa. Let's talk about these lyrics. Let's talk about these lyrics. She didn't bring up Suki. There's a whole lot of rappers saying a whole bunch of craziness. But Sukihana has a song. And at first I was like, oh, this is so nasty. Then I played it again. I was like, oh, this is so nasty. Then I played it again. I was like, oh, this is so nasty. But, it's catchy. Sukihana say, we be fucking N-words in Paris. I could suck the dick through the Ameris. I don't know what the Ameris is. But it just rhymed. And I was on Google like, what is the Ameris? Anyway. But Suki just got something on her. But like you're saying, I think we have to eventually. These women are going to grow up. Our children are going to grow up, and they're going to want to show up differently. And they do have a right to reinvent themselves. But as I always share with young people when I speak with them, you don't want to do something now that is going to hinder you in such a way later that you cannot reinvent yourself to the fullest extent, right?
But I think that's the problem when it comes to women. And I'm going to tell you now, when I was 21 and I got out in the real world, and I was looking at how my checks was coming in, but how my bills was due, and I I've always had a nice little body, and I had people around me that was like, now you can hit them amateur nights across the river, because I was in St. Louis. So it was like, you can hit them amateur nights and you can make a lot of money. You got it. I was dancing and I had a body. So and so it was something that I contemplated very often. And when I saw them bills, I was like, ooh, if maybe I could just hit the pole every now and then. And then I had my son. And so then it was, well, Wilhelm's mama, that's my child. Wilhelm's mama can't get on the pole. Right, then it became that, right? But in my mind, it was because I knew I was going to get past that moment and want to be something else and someone else. Right. And I didn't want any videos to surface and Wilhelm be shocked, or I'm trying to make a move in another arena, and now all of this information comes out. But I think that time has changed over the last 12 years, where you have a woman who could have been a prostitute or a stripper.
Absolutely.
Or she could have even been, in the drug world. And she can now reinvent herself.
Absolutely.
And grow up and mature. Absolutely. And be someone else. And that's a beautiful change. I think that is a great new norm for us as a culture, because we know what it is to have to make hard choices in order just to survive. And so I like that this is the new norm, that you can change and evolve in front of people's eyes. And the same thing with Chloe and Haley. You can try on as many Black women as you want to. It's your right to do so.
Absolutely.
And to settle on the Black woman that you actually are.
Absolutely. I love that verbiage. I love it. Because before I became who I am, I was a whole another person. I was a pastor. I was a gospel singer, Then I was a comedian for a short second right there. Then, I settled in to who I am right now in this moment. It's fabulous, sexy, Big Daddy, that is just sitting. I'm just joking. Juicy Bear, yes. All of this deliciousness. But so Manal, there's been a little pushback with this, just to add a little texture. We have some of the older entertainers like India Irie, who is stating, can we get her picture up there? India Irie, who's stating that this is not going to age well. She's saying this is not the move. This is not going to age well. Now, to be clear, she wasn't talking specifically about Sukihana and Sexy Red. She was talking about, all of the twerking in public, all of the twerk contests, all of the showing up half naked. Damn near all the we saying half naked, but really, you only have the essentials covered up. She's saying this is not going to age well.
Outfit,
right?
Pretty naked.
Right. She's saying this is not going to age well, and so she's just cautioning them. Look at what you're doing now, because there is the future coming, and we don't listen. We as young people, we don't always listen. I didn't listen to my parents. People think I always did because I was pastoring at 21. Well, if I started pastoring at 21, then I started cutting up and acting the ass early. Trust me. I had to cut up and act the ass and then repent and get right early in life.
You didn't have to, but that's a different conversation. But go ahead.
Sure. Yeah. But I didn't do everything, and I still don't do everything that I'm quote unquote supposed to do. But you have to ask yourself, how is this going to age? How is this going to meet me tomorrow? And not to say that you'll live your whole life in fear of, or in prison to the decisions that you make today. But these are things that you need to weigh out. And so, yes, I do like the new norm, where you can have someone like T.S. Madison, who was a prostitute, who was a porn star, who still makes money. I like her because she bossed up. She was like, okay, since I'm doing porn, I'm going to turn this into a money-making venture. And she still makes money now off the porn she's did over 10, 15 years ago. I love it. But now she is a media, a multimedia sensation. In today's culture, you can reinvent yourself, but no one wants to go through the hard times of having to reinvent yourself, having to shake an old, old personality, the way people, no one wants to go through that. So I think India Irie is just cautioning them. You're talented enough to find another way to show up in the world.
So I love India. In my world, she is my big sister. She don't know, but she is. She grew me up in a lot of ways in my consciousness as a woman, as a Black woman, as a dark-skinned woman who has been bald many times in life. I love her and appreciate her. And I believe that her perspective is valuable when you had a certain start in life. There are, again, as Black people, because I'm going to speak to us first, we grew up in so many different realms that what is okay, what is acceptable, what is normal, what is womanhood, all of these things vary so much. And so I understand India's perspective because I feel like in a lot of ways I grew up the way she grew up, so I can understand her lens. But I can also understand how Sexy Red and Sukiana have come to who they are in the industry right now. Our starts are different. And so the way we woman is going to be different. Hopefully at some point, they say, you know what? Let me put some clothes on. Let me keep these conversations to myself or amongst my friends. And I can still find a way to be provocative, to be sexy, to be sensual and talented all at once without giving so much. Maybe they do get to that point. But right now they are a part of who we are as Black women as well. And they need their space. They need their time. I think my big thing is because we know that this music is out there and we know that these examples are out there. How are we as parents, as aunts, uncles, people that are part of these villages, how are we talking to our kids? How are we opening up their worlds and opening up their minds to different ideas and examples outside of Sexy Red and Sukiana? I think, if I had a daughter, I'd be like, now you can beat this, but this is going to get a certain type of attention. Right. Or you can be that, or you can be that, or you can be that, because all of these are representations of who you can grow into.
What you just said,
who you are and how you see yourself.
What you just said was so amazing and profound. It was actually funny to me too, because my mom and my big mama and my sugar mama, we call sugar mama, that was my oldest auntie. They would always tell my sisters, if you're not selling potatoes, take the sign out the window. Right? And so a lot of times you'll experience certain things in life, and you're like, why is this happening? Why is this happening? And what they were saying was, okay, in some ways, not all the time, because some things are unmerited, but sometimes you're advertising that I'm this type of person, right? And this is what I go for. No, of course, you're not coming out and saying it, but you're advertising. Do you have the right to? Absolutely. Should they respect you? Absolutely, they should. But we're not living in a world where things are as they should be. Sometimes you have to dwell with the way things are. And if you're not selling potatoes, sometimes you got to take that sign out the window, and you have to show up different. Now, I don't do respectability politics either. But sometimes you do have to ask yourself, how am I showing up in this room? Now, I like what Uncle Kai had to say. Uncle Kyrie, can I get his comment back up here? It's a trash move. And why aren't labels making white female artists do this bullish? We are the only ones falling for it, and it's not a positive move. I can agree with that, Unc. I absolutely can agree with that. That is wisdom spoken from a true elder in the community. Again, sometimes you have to turn things down, not just because of what it means for you, but what is it going to mean to the community as a whole?
Yeah, but see, and this is my child psychology mind.
Mm-hmm.
They were taught that it was okay to sell themselves long before they signed onto a label. Which is why I always go back to, what are you talking to your kids about? How are you building their world to see themselves in the many possibilities that are out there? Or are you just giving them one idea?
Okay.
And this goes back to the video that we watched, the mom who was cussing her kids out and calling them bitches and hoes on social media. How many people were commenting saying, good job, mom, get in their ass, blah, 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 blah. So again, how are you grooming your kids to not be a Sukiana or a Sexy Red?
Absolutely. So this conversation is far from over. However, we do have to put it on pause tonight because the show is coming to an end. I've enjoyed tonight. Tonight was everything. Absolutely. Those of you watching on my channel, the WaltB Connection, we want to thank you for tuning in. Those of you that have tuned in tonight here on Pyro Media, we want to thank you for tuning in. Also, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. These are conversation starters, okay? So whether you agree with us or not, share the video and start the conversation with your following so that we can get into the deep things of the things. A lot of times, we don't like the conversation that's being had, but we're not bold enough to start the conversation that we feel needs to be had. Right? Right.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Uncle Kai said there needs to be a part 2. We might need to have you on, we got to reach out to you, Uncle Kai, on we got to reach out to you for our R&B show. And I already got the date. I just got to reach out to you. I'll inbox you later. Don't forget, you all, next week there will be no show due to Labor Day.
We vacationing.
Tell me what we are doing. Yes. Absolutely.
Shout out to my son. It's his birthday today.
Hey,
he's
happy
12.
birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear William. Wait, did I say that right?
You didn't, but I was gonna let you go because you put a run in there.
Happy birthday to you. Help me finish that, Mama.
Oh, see, because you're doing all these vocal calisthenics. That's not what I do. I sing the note. I sing the note that's given, the note that is assigned. Okay, I'm a choir and background singer. Okay?
I got lost.
There you go, running trails and stuff.
Right. I wish I could run in real life like that. I wouldn't be so damn big. All right, but if you want to support us, you can absolutely send a cash app to my cash app, which is right under my name, WaltB Connection, $ WaltB Connection. It's also on Venmo @ WaltB Connection. You can cash app Manal with $ Bay Windows. You can follow us on social media. How can I connect with you on social media, Bay? Manal?
Bay, hey. You can find me on Facebook under Manal Bay. You can find me on Instagram under proud_Manal Smiles. Thank you. And you can also find me on YouTube under Bay Windows.
Absolutely. And I'm on all social media platforms under WaltB Connection. We want to thank you so much for tuning in tonight, and we will see you week after next with another amazing show of the WaltB Connection.